Hello and welcome to Going Down the Image SEO Rabbit Hole 2025. My name is Myriam Jessier and you're going to love me. I'm the person at the left of your screen. Pay attention and you'll figure out why. If you don't know me, you can always Google my first name and my job. You'll find me just fine. It's one of my most ridiculous flexes. And images are not all that I talk about. I've been in the search industry for quite a while and I've learned a thing or two about a thing or two. Let's get back to images. One of the tools that I use quite a lot is Google Cloud Vision. This is a free demo of the tool. You can get a good idea of how advanced image vision has become. So Google's very good at reading what's on my slide. Very, very good. Except for a few things. Google can't tell that I'm a see you next Tuesday. I told you you love me. Check again on the left side of your screen. Yes, I'm there. I'm smiling, and my t-shirt says, see you next Tuesday. You can read it now because I told you where to look. And if you are not able to, don't worry. It's just a smiling person wearing a black t-shirt that says, see you next Tuesday. The machine was not able to catch this. That's the type of stuff I love to learn about image optimization. And if I'm being honest, this talk should be called Image Optimization Advice for a Multimodal World. Here's why. Images are a key component of multimodal communication. And as humans, this is how we communicate a lot. This is also how we tend to search naturally. We've had to force ourselves to do, very clipped, very purpose-driven, keyword-driven searches. But ultimately, we have a tendency to use different ways of creating meaning and communicating that meaning. So images, memes, yeah, they're a big portion of that. They're not the only semiotic modes, but they're pretty big up there when it comes to us communicating, searching for stuff, etc. Basically being human. And 50% of online shoppers say images help them decide what to buy. This Google consumer survey kind of highlights why the search engine cares about image optimization in 2025. But our brains are also wired to process visual information quickly and efficiently. What does it mean? It means that there's money to be made in parsing and ranking images. So here's the hierarchy of cloud vision. It kind of seeks to mimic how we operate as humans. It first checks faces and emotions the way we do. That's why there's so many smiling people in hero banners. Then objects, then tags. This is where, image vision kind of differs. Web entities that are reflected, text, properties such as colors and other ratios, and then is it safe? Can I show this to my users? While images are critical for satisfying, the visual experience most of us expect online, delivering them efficiently isn't easy. That's why we're talking about this today. Because normally you would go through the Lighthouse audit that would tell you to optimize stuff, size stuff, serve new generation formats, display the stuff in the right ratio, and then lazy load. Okay, great, but let's go beyond that. Let's try to understand what's going on so we can actually make a difference. I know that going into this talk, people are expecting me to talk about ranking factors, so I'm going to show them on the screen for a little bit. I'm not going to be going over them because I need all of us focused on what truly will move the needle. What will? Well, your images must match the user's intent. They must provide relevant and useful visual information. Remember how I said that they were pretty important in the way we think about making meaning out of stuff and communicating with each other and searching for stuff? Well, it's because images are very information dense. A single image can convey complex information more efficiently than text alone. Visual formats allow audiences to quickly grasp trend patterns and relationships between elements that we would have a hard time communicating adequately via text, for example. Information density is the bang for your buck when it comes to content creation. It's a qualitative assessment of how much information you can pack in a given space or format, which means that we have to talk about EAT. Yeah, images are great when it comes to expertise, experience, authority, trust, everything that helps define what high quality content is. And high quality visual content is credible, unique, original, and it shows a personal perspective, a first hand experience, or it's done by artists. This is reflected in the Google Quality Rater Guidelines. It says original photos or video footage produced by the website or content creator is seen as high quality main content. And I've gone through all of these guidelines and created a table you see below. So you feel free to take a screenshot of this slide. It helps you figure out, based on the type of page, what is the type of image expected on there? What would be the purpose? And provides a neat little example. And beyond EAT, you need to make your images readable by search engines. How do you do that? Make sure that objects are visible and that the backgrounds are light. And if you are going to use GenAI images in your shopping feed, you need to know and apply these labels. You can differentiate between images that have been created from sample content, created without training data, or images that are a composite image with synthetic elements. These guidelines are available on Google Merchant Center. And if you're not on there, that's fine. We need to talk about image properties that help, optimize stuff a bit better for search engines. File name, format, URL path, source set attribute, alt attribute, title attribute. That's quite a list. And we do talk about a few of them ad nauseum to the point that you don't want to pay attention to it anymore. So we're going to go over certain things a bit faster and more in depth about the stuff you're not used to talking about. First, please, if you are going to download my stock photos from Unsplash for low quality EAT content, at least change the name. That's why we say that, the file name is important. This is not a good look. And when it comes to image source set, you should know that this attribute helps define the set of images that the browser can select from, as well as the size of each image. So, yes, we do care about this. And if you're telling yourself, oh, not another thing I have to check, there is an open source tool called RespImageLint that will do these checks for you. Okay, so the more you know. When it comes to alt attributes, simply be descriptive and relevant. Trying keyword stuffing is not going to help you, but quick tip, LLMs are pretty great in a pinch to help provide context to whatever image you're about to share on social media. And if you're wondering what the difference is between an alt attribute and, you know, a an image, title, and a legend, well, they're used differently. The alt text is for ranking, the title is more contextual, which means that text near the images adds to their relevance. And if you want to ensure that you have a good baseline when it comes to image optimization, use a CDN. That's basically what I can advise you to do. CDNs help with substantial savings when it comes to image file sizes, but they also can automatically select the best quality and format depending on the user's situation. Browser caching is something you should also consider because there's some images that you can cache for quite a while. You're not going to renew them every month. And of course, compress the images, use the right formats, and display them at the right size. Great. That covers most of it. We're almost done with this talk. I'm just gonna, go a bit further. Images cause a lot of layout shifts. Yep. Here's why. Back in the day, we cared about width and height. They had to be specified. And then kind of gave up. It wasn't required. And now it's required again because modern browsers really use that. Otherwise, it causes CLS issues. But not all theme makers are up to date when it comes to CMS stuff, so please make sure you check. Perceived image quality is also subjective. It depends on image content, screen size, resolution, and each person looking at the content. Whew, that makes it hard. So, what are the pillars you should be paying attention to? Having the right format, responsive images, lazy loading, and accessibility. Great, but the right format is pretty elusive. You can find it at the crossroads of desired visual results and functional requirements. What does it mean? It means that I have some advice because everyone always asks me, hey, what should I do? Well, let me boil it down to you. Two very simple things. Your target should be 100 kilobytes, but if it's not, if you're above 500, you should be looking at compression, okay? And the tricky thing about format is that you can have the same format, but the image content will impact its efficiency. So that means that you can save images in the same format, same quality, same configuration, and they could still end up being different sizes. So things are not easy. There's a few things that you can do to decide which format you're going to use, but what we need to discuss today is that there's brand new formats that are very good at compressing things. WebP is one of those that can compress images 25 to 35% more compared to JPEGs or PNGs. But now Google accepts AVIF as well, and that's a big deal because this includes moving images. Yeah, animated GIFs, here we go. We're finally getting somewhere. You can also consider progressive JPEGs. It's a low resolution preview of an image. It helps people feel like things are loading faster when they're not really. So there's quite a few libraries that can help you achieve that effect if you need that for your business. You can also combine JPEG encoders like Wetzli or MozJPEG and layer them to compress images a bit more efficiently. Because effective compression reduces the size of an image while delivering a crisp level of detail. We need stuff that looks good and loads fast. There's 3 compression types: lossy, lossless, and glossy. The reality is, most of the time, you're going to go for lossy because it removes actual pixels, so it makes things truly lighter. And glossy is a mix between lossy and lossless, so very nice to know. You also have a tool that Google makes available for you for free to estimate the point when a person will notice that you have compressed things too much and that the quality is just no good anymore. So that can avoid a lot of problems. When it comes to lazy loading, please keep in mind, never, ever, ever lazy load a hero banner at the top of the page, okay? That is the most common error that I see. Please don't do that. And if you want to get started with concrete stuff, meaning auditing your images, identify image stance pages, figure out what your opportunities are, check image file sizes with a crawler, try to figure out what the pattern is, like what are the heaviest images and why. Check if you're using new formats and check if lazy load is working properly, aka turned on but not for the hero banner. If you want to go further, an image performance budget sets limits and provides a useful framework to discuss performance with stakeholders. This means that, you could agree as a company that images should not be more than this size or users must be able to interact with the page in under 3 seconds. Like, these are objectives you can set in your budget to then reverse engineer where you need to be at from a technical standpoint. So I hope that this was useful to you, and I hope to see you soon around the internet. Bye!